In one of my early videos in my Soul Spark series, I came up with what I call the boomerang effect, where physical energy is shared between twin flames, and as it's shared, it becomes compounded. So as it comes back to us, it is part of our ascension. I may receive downloads through my higher self that leads to expansion of my awareness with certain things, which is what happened a lot through my spiritual growth cycles. But that energy manifests for my twin more heavily during our physical growth cycles. A good example is that I'm led through some healing and growth mostly through my upper three chakras, maybe developing practices that help to open my third eye more. This can manifest for my other experiencer as some growth and healing, mostly in his lower three chakras, maybe through sharing his creations with others, as the third eye and sacral mirror each other and are strong with creativity. And they would experience the spiritual aspects as well, but it's not as deep for the grounder twin, or who I sometimes refer to as the MI. And it's all just energy, just different vibrations. So when I say physical growth, for example, I'm referring to a more condensed energy than the spiritual cycles. The physical cycles are slower vibrations in which I'm experiencing in what we call this physical form, and it's palpable, it's matter, and something we experience sensually, and it occurs mostly through our lower three chakras. We're getting grounded through love, opening to all of this through the heart, little by little. And this can be seen in my own growth because we mirror each other in different ways, and our existence is interwoven as part of our shared soul. So it was after these cycles that we moved into our heart space, according to my higher self. And I believe the physical and spiritual cycles are no longer separated, which happened because we became attuned to our higher self, where we got good at feeling out our alignment with our soul. And this doesn't mean one or both of us call it our higher self, but simply that we allow ourselves to feel our way to our authenticity, what resonates with us, recognizing where we feel things within our body because it's communicating with us. Even what we might consider bad or low vibrational, it's happening for a reason. And if we allow ourselves to feel in our bodies, if we allow through our heart, we can process that through love. This is when we move into our heart space. And one thing I've noticed so far is how it's similar to how I was being guided to raising my vibrations. But it's next level where my intuition and my ego are working together more harmoniously. It's more than thinking, but it's more than a feeling. It's bringing my heart and my mind into this faith and action, potential and matter, love and fear. And fear is usually frowned upon, but it's through awareness of our fear that we're able to heal and grow. Like, you can't do that if you're not aware of the issues. And it's also why we're bombarded with our fears during activation, so we can become aware of them. Through my journey, it brought me to open my heart and allow myself to feel these emotions and process them through love. And I'm not there with everything, but I'm aware now and I'm growing with that awareness. So if we allow ourselves to acknowledge our fear and bring that into our heart, through love, we can neutralize it. We neutralize that energy and we can nurture it through light. I believe it's here in the heart that we're both going to experience deeper healing and more substantial growth. And it's probably going to feel more challenging at times and involve bigger leaps of faith, but it will be even more fulfilling. It's through acting out of the heart in all aspects of our life that we open our heart more to others and maybe even help them to do the same thing. We're feeling and aligning with who we're designed to be. And it may be here that we find greater purpose. And this isn't limited to a phase for either person, though I do believe this is after moving out of separation of the spirit and body, where there's no longer such a disconnect, there's no longer such a divide. And I also believe this means the gap of separation between both people closes. But this is all part of ongoing growth and healing for both, and it happens throughout our entire journey. We grow into our physical and spiritual balance, which is our soul. We get into balanced flow with our chakras where we're able to live from the heart. So, really significant parts of our path involve surrendering to our higher self, to trusting our higher self. And as a shared soul, we both share our higher self. We share our energy, and it's why we have more mirroring with them than with anyone else. So, of course, as we both follow that guidance, our perception has even more of an impact on each other. And I believe it's why we go through developing our relationship with our inner voice before we can authentically grow from our heart. And I actually think some twin flames may start from the heart if they're both already at that level of awareness and following their heart. I think they don't go through like bridging the separation of spirit and body because they're already balancing with their truth. But depending on where we are in our journey, surrendering can be different for us each time. This can be our depth of surrender, but also our state of surrender. And by that I mean where it comes from. Like some of my surrender came from my head because my thinking had to change, or I had to release certain thoughts altogether, or release my own intentions. And this surrender often happened because I concluded intellectually that surrender was the best option. But there have also been times where surrender came from my heart through trusting in my higher self. I just said, I've been through what I've been through, and my higher self has been guiding me the whole way. I trust in my guidance, even though my head, it's kind of telling me this is wrong or don't put your trust here. But I follow my heart. It was through vulnerability and emotional openness that I surrendered. But there was something that occurred to me in this recently, and it felt like my heart and my brain came together in a balance with this, where I was thinking about my other experiencer, and I started imagining what might happen the next time I see him. But I've been trying to get away from imagining the way that might happen, like not put limits on it with my ideas. And not that it's wrong to do that, but from my current perspective, I may not be able to see what my higher self can see for both of us. And it was with that realization and trust, that I let my thoughts go and I said out loud, I trust my inner voice and I want what my soul wants for both of us. And to say I want what my soul wants, it was an amazing feeling because I could feel my head and my heart coming together in this as I chose to surrender, which I could do through awareness and understanding and emotions because my head and my heart are working together and I'm equipped to choose surrender. It's an all in surrender, and I could feel it opening me more to the potential that can come from that. The potential to be so much more than what I can imagine from where I stand right now, because I'm going to continue to expand through my heart. So, where I may be down the road is different from where I'm at right now. And my higher self can take me there. My higher self knows this path. When we surrender from our heart, our mind may not always understand, and in some ways, it feels like we give up, and sometimes we do give up. But when we're open to our higher self, our internal compass will always take us back to a better path, a better path, and a better path. But when we're on board with that through our heart and our mind, it goes so much deeper than just one way or the other. And there may be times we don't need to understand, and times I think we're not even meant to. So it's not always about understanding or not needing to understand, but about being open to our internal support. We find our comfort and our freedom in knowing that we have that support. And when we need to know something, we're open to it. And we can have peace in that because it came through our higher self, but also because we fully trust. When you have that all in surrender through your own choice, your free will is aligned with your divinity, your divine plan. And the trust you have is priceless. And I'm not there with every aspect of my life yet, but I'm getting there as I'm being guided. And I know that it involves my head and my heart balance, my ego and my intuition, my feminine and my masculine, my entire spirit and body, my soul. And this comes through being open to your higher self. This isn't a place we force our way into being. We get there in tandem. And okay, I was gonna say, I paused for a minute because I was gonna say we can't force our way to this, that we get there in increments through our awareness and other growth. But the word tandem just came in, and I could feel it was from my higher self. And I'm like, I've heard that word. I know that word, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what it means, like what the definition is. So I stopped and looked it up. And it means to have two things together as one, similarly, one behind the other. So I'll say that again. This isn't a place we force our way into being. We get there in tandem with our twin, where it's all coming together. All the different paths we've walked on our journey are coming to meet up in one place. The paths of both people coming together, and that place is in the heart of both twins. We're both learning to live all in from the heart, step by step. And wouldn't you know it, to choose surrender through the head and the heart actually manifests with your twin on an even deeper level, which I'll get into in my next video. So please leave a like if you enjoyed this and subscribe if you'd like to see more. And thank you for watching.